Okay, I thought I'd list my top 10 products for Aussie modelling. So without further ado, we'll get into it. First thing you see is inspiration. So things like this book here. I basically read the print off this. It's just a, tell all of the locomotives of Australian National, and it was one thing that really helped me get started into modelling, and you really can't do without it. I mean, the internet's changed a few things in its time, but yeah, I think it's here for a long period of time, and it will help a lot of people modelling either the present or the past. So the next thing I've got, number 9, is J-car products. So they make things like these connectors, the wiring, all those sorts of things. Solderers, soldering irons, all that stuff. So again, if it wasn't for that company, it would be very hard to do what we do today. Number 8 is DCC Systems. I use NCE. The reason I use it is it's simple for everyone to look at. So, direction's direction, horn's horn, and at this time I was with the club at the time which we started this. It's also wireless capable, which is just brilliant, and it saves a lot of your wiring. Every load I do from here on in is DCC, and there are other DC systems out there, so it's not a problem if you have a favourite. This is my favourite. Okay. Other things with that are chips. Obviously, you can't have one with any other. This is a Wow Sound chip. Sound is pretty good. I don't think it's fully there yet. I think at some point we'll have subwoofers sitting underneath our layouts at some point. That's why I see it. Tortoise point motors. Again, these things are bulletproof. I've probably used them for over 17 years, I reckon, and I haven't had one fail yet. So if you need to have a point motor somewhere, and it's because it's a long way away from whatever it is, and you want it reliably to switch every time, tortoise point motor. That's the way I look at it. Okay, number 7, and this is pretty recent stuff. It's road rages. They make these cars, Aussie cars. So you can't have an Aussie layout without Aussie cars. So these are 2 Valiants. So yeah, that's just the way it is. More manufacturers should look at this and go, wow, we shouldn't even have to have more cars. So these will do, and you can get these at any time, which is another thing, they're always available. So the next thing down that list is decals. So these are broad gauge body decals, and a lot of the stuff that we used to do, and we still do today, requires decal sheets. So you can have the wagon or the locomotive or whatever, and sometimes it's not produced or whatever, but you'll have the decals for it. So it's still an important thing. The other thing is down to wagons now, so this is number 5 on my list. Just about everybody has one of these. This is a Indian Pacific car. Lena makes it, and I think they started these out early mid to late 70s, I think, and they must have built oodles of this. Everybody's got one. If you go to any shop meet, swap meet or anything like that, you'll find these. So everybody's got a stack of them. They're good. They're well detailed for their era. Do you really need everything demanding on it? It's a nice coach, and it's what you need. So there are others here that match that. Ossision's produced a lot of things that I need to model. ABFXs, I remember building, kits of these things, kits of AOOXs, they're all there. AHGXs, you wouldn't have a wheat train anything less than 22 in the AN days. So to make those, you can't buy them until Ossision brought these out. You could buy AHDLs, But yeah, one of those things. The other on the wagon front is this from SDS. This is a gas tanker, NTHF. The innovations these guys have put together for this is outstanding. All of the plastic is springable, okay, so you're not going to damage this thing. So there are wagons where you look at them and the detail just goes, you know, whereas these are a next level thing. I'd like to see the future come out like these wagons have. Blackened wheels too, saves a bit of time and a bit of effort. So, you know, that's the future as I see it. The next on my list is locomotives. And yes, there are heaps of people that have produced locomotives, but the fact is, running bar cooler, Alice Springs, a town like Alice, and Moe River Bridge, lots of hours put in. These things are heavy, they've got lots of traction, grunt, and they are dependable. You know, they're actually bulletproof in a lot of ways. So these, they did the DLs as well, and Australia was probably the first to produce an Australian locomotive with a proper drive, as in a mechanical drive shaft to the wheels and down like this on either end. Prior to that, it was a ring-filled motor. It's terrible. It's like you buy a locomotive, the first thing you do is throw away the mechanism. So, you know, that's the way I look at that. That's my number 4. My number 3 is Scenic Materials. So this is Woodland Scenics. It's just foam, coloured. Just about everybody who's built a layout has used this stuff, or is building a layout has used this stuff. The other thing is Scenic Express Super Trees. I've used these on 2 layouts so far. I should have been using on all of them. Very fine. Of course, you use the Woodland Scenics to cover them all up, and they look really good, straight out of the box per se. Another new innovation is this stuff, which is static grass. And again, I've used it on 2 layouts and probably go on to 3. And then the next one after that, the next one after that. Still on the scenery, Humbrol paints. I have a stack of these. I've used them since I was very young, and they're fine pigments. You can do just about anything with them. They can be diluted in mineral turpentine. Fantastic. Highly recommend if you're starting the hobby, grab some of those. My number 2, believe it or not, is foam. Every successful layout I've built has been built of foam. Okay, not to say that I haven't built layouts without foam, but they've had some form of foam in them, and right now I actually use these as a base. And you can buy this stuff, this is Formula R, just Google Formula R, and you'll find a distributor close. They can deliver to you, so it's good stuff. Which leaves us with the number 1. Now I guess it's no surprise that my number 1 here is Pico. Just about everyone who owns a layout or has a layout has used Pico track. Okay, again, it's robust. It's got a good switching mechanism. First layout, you can just lay it, put joiners on it, and away you go. An experienced modeler can just smack these down like nobody's business. And you know, I've laid an entire yard in an afternoon using this stuff. So yeah, there goes my top 10. I hope you've enjoyed it and are a little bit informed. And again, this is the way I look at it. There are other manufacturers out there. I use other manufacturers obviously for a lot of this stuff. But as far as I'm concerned right now, they're my top 10 based on what they've done in the past and what they've made the hobby as it is now for the Australian model. Okay, see ya.